Boomhauer69 here, and today I'm going to do a little video here, and this is just something I was thinking about just recently, sitting around thinking about my ideas of kind of wanting to help people, One of the things I would like to become is, in the near future, is well-to-do. I'm like anybody else, I'm lower middle class. I'm trying to figure out how to become well-to-do and how to be able to come up with the money to do the ideas that I would like to do. Well, there's a lot of people out there that they see these videos and nobody has attacked me or anything. Nobody's been negative to me. Everybody's been positive. But I was just thinking there's going to be, later on down the line, those people that are going to be negative and say, oh, why would you want to help homeless people by giving them a tiny house? Why would you want to be able to walk down the street and give those beggars, those people that, hold up the signs and jingle the can and give them thousands of dollars? Why would you want to do that? That's not right. Why would you want to do that? You're just enabling their drug habits, or they're just going to take that tiny house and do bad things and prostitution and all this. You know what? No. I'm not enabling them. There's going to be people saying, oh, you're just going to enable them to continue their bad habits, whether they're a drug addict or prostitute or whatever. No, I'm not. I look at it, I believe in God. God sends us angels or a miracle, and then it's up to us to decide whether or not we do good with what He gives us or we do bad. Just like the Bible. God gives you the Bible, He tells you, here's the Bible, and He tells you what He would like you to do with it, and then it's all up to you. What you decide. It's all up to you to choose whether you want to read that Bible and worship God and stuff, and go to church every Sunday or every Saturday, whatever you believe in. He gives you that option. He gives you it as an option, but it's your choice to do the right thing. It's up to you to do the right thing. So, for example, if I go out and was able to successfully build little tiny houses for homeless people, whether it's a little push cart, teardrop camper thingy, or an actual little shed that they can put somewhere, or give them thousands of dollars or millions of dollars. It is up to that person that gets it to do the right thing with that. It's up to them what they decide to do. If I give it to them and then they go out and they do something negative, bad with it, that's all on them. I gave them an opportunity. I basically look at it, God probably would basically use me to help that person to make a positive. Now, if that person takes that tiny house and decides, you know what, since I got this, now I got something that can help me change my life around, and he does positive, he does good, he changes his life around, that's good. If he makes a poor choice and takes the item that I give him, we'll call it item, and he does something bad with it, that's all on that person. He had the opportunity. Once he got it, he's going to be, wow, but he's going to be sitting there saying, wow, this is awesome, and then it's all on him to decide to whether to do good with it or to do bad. Not on me. I did nice. I look at it, I've been a nice person. I did my part. Now it's up to that person that gets it to do their part. Whether it's up to them to decide what they do. Whether they do good and help it to make positive choices in their life, or they decide to take it down the wrong path. That's up to them. And if they come, and if I find out later on that person did bad, oh well. I'm not going to sit there and go to that person and say, oh, shame on you for I helped you out and you did bad, baby. No, that's not going to be me. If they come to me and say, hey, you probably heard that I did bad with it, can you help me out again? Then it's up to me to decide, do I want to help that person out again? And say, well, and then I'm going to lecture them. I might help them out again. I'm going to be that person and say, well, okay, I'm going to try to think to myself, the old saying, what would Jesus do? And I'm going to say to myself, to that person, okay, I helped you out once. You had the opportunity to use that item I gave you to make a positive difference in your life, but instead you choose to do something bad with it. And now you want me to help you again. Why? That's what I'm going to say. Why? Are you going to actually this time around do something positive with it? Or are you going to do negative? And if they lie and say, well, I promise I'll do good thing. No. You can help a person out one time. It's up to my basic video about this. What I'm trying to say is, when I donate something to somebody or give to somebody, it's up to them to decide what they do with it. Once it leaves my hands, once I give it to them and it goes into their hands, it's up to them to decide whether they do good or bad, not me. And a lot of people say, well, you shouldn't give money because you're just enabling their drug habits. So what? It was up to them once they got the money, the item, or whatever the case may be, whatever it is, it's up to them to decide whether or not to do good with it or bad with it. God gives it to them, and it's God's, and it's up to them to decide. Just like the Bible and stuff. God gives us something. He gives us the Holy Bible, and it's up to us to decide what do we do with it. Do we read it, throw it in the trash, whatever. And that's the way I look at it. If you help a person out, and they do something good or bad with it, it's all on them. Not me. It's not my fault that they took the item I gave them and went out and bought crack with it or did something bad, negative, whatever. It's not my fault. It's their fault. Because they had an opportunity, they had seconds, minutes, to decide to do something good or bad. It's not my problem. That's what I'm getting at. So all you people out there that are going to comment on my videos when I'm able to do so and help people out and say, oh, you shouldn't have done that. He's just going to buy crack. He's going to do all this bad. I don't care what he does with it. It's all up to them. Once they get the item, it's up to them to decide what to do with it. It's up to them to make the choice. Do I use it for a good thing or a bad thing? That's it. Because I feel like God's not going to punish you because you gave something to somebody and they went out and did bad with it. If God knows what your intentions was good intention, He's going to say, hey, I think it was great that you helped this person out and you tried to be a good person. He goes, I'm sorry that they did something bad with it, but you know what? It's not your fault that they went out and did something bad with it. That it's their own fault, God wants us to take responsibilities for our own actions. Like in today's society. This country is headed in a dark place. We may end up going into another recession, as they call it, or we might end up in another Great Depression. And it's funny how people want to point the fingers. It's so easy nowadays to see it's the Democrats' fault. It's the Republican fault. But nobody wants to look at himself in the goddamn mirror and say, it's my own fucking fault. They don't want to see what they did. They don't want to look in the mirror and say, what did I do to cause this? You had an opportunity to do something positive in your life to help prevent what is going on in today's world. If you're a person that went out and bought and took your paycheck and bought a $500, $800 PlayStation, Xbox video game console, and you knew in your right mind, that you could not truly afford it, that you had bills to pay, but you went out and bought all this stuff and you knew you couldn't afford it, and now you're sitting bankrupt, shaking and wondering, okay, how I'm going to pay my car payment, how I'm going to pay my rent, how I'm going to do it. That's all on you. You did it to yourself. You need to look in the mirror and say, yeah, this is what I did wrong. That's what I do. I stand in the mirror every day thinking, okay, how can I better myself? How can I make sure I don't make the same mistakes I made in the past? Yeah, I messed up. I'm going to admit it. Can you? That's what you people need to think about. Is you need to take responsibility for your own actions. If somebody helps you out and you go out and do bad with it, it's not their fault, it's you. Think about it. And I see that so much nowadays is a lot of people are basically going out spending all their money on these wants instead of looking at their needs. And then when they need stuff, then they can't afford it because they're too busy buying all these dream lavish ideas. Me personally, I could go out and buy a nice. I could probably figure a way to go out and buy a nice fancy camera and fancy lighting and all this stuff and fancy program to build this YouTube channel up I'm creating. But I know in my right mind I cannot afford to do that. So I'm using what I have to build this YouTube channel. I'm doing what is right. I want to do YouTube for a living. I want to make it successful. But I know in order to do that, I have to do the right decisions. I have to make the right moves and the smart moves. I know if I was to go out today and buy $1,000 camera or $5,000 camera, it would probably hurt me worse than what I'm doing right now. I'd have $1,000 camera. I wouldn't have the subscribers or the money to make that back. So I know I gotta make smart decisions. And I encourage you people right now that are watching this video right now, please make the right decisions. Think about stuff. Go to a store. If you need a cell phone, do you necessarily gotta have the latest and greatest iPhone, phone, or the latest and greatest Android or iPhone or whatever phone? Think about what your needs are. What are you going to use that phone for? Me, the last smartphone I actually truly owned, smart cell phone, it was a Walmart $50 straight talk basic cell phone. You know what? I said, okay, all I need is just a GPS, because at the time I was working for a company and I was a flagman. I was the guy that drove the little car with the flashing light that said override load for the company. And you know what? You know what I did? I needed a GPS because I knew it'd be hard for me to kind of find my way around. So I bought a basic cell phone that had a good GPS on it, and that was it. And it happened to be a Google Android $50 cell phone. And that's all I did. And then on top of that, I just accessed my Wi-Fi and do what I normally do on a basic computer, so I didn't need a whole fancy cell phone. And so that's what I'm saying is, think about it. These people are not, a lot of people nowadays are not thinking, and just think, make sure you make the right decision. Same with me doing this, wanting to help out people in need and homeless in need. I'd like to do that stuff. But if they take the thing I give them and they choose to do good or bad, it's all up to them, not me. Just like God. God says to us, we have the opportunity. He gives us the opportunity to make the right choices. He gives us his book and his teachings and says, here's what I'd like you to do with it. But it's all up to you to decide what you want to do with it. I give you the options, and I'm going to let you make the decision, And that's how I feel. So if I help somebody out and they become a druggo, they use it to buy drugs or do bad things, that's all on them. That's up to them. That's all on them. They had the opportunity to take the item, or whatever, cash item, whatever it may be, and do the right thing with it. And if they make the bad choices, then they have to live with the choices they made. You ever heard the old saying, you made your bed, and now you're going to have to lay in it? Same thing with me. I made poor choices in the past, and guess what? I made my bed, and I got to lay in it. laying it. So I get to suffer the consequences of my own actions and what I have done wrong. So I'm going to end this video because it's a 15-minute video. So if you like this sort of content, I'll do more talk videos. If you like this sort of content, please subscribe to Boomhauer69's channel. It'll really help me out and in doing my goal of doing YouTube and stuff. So subscribe to the channel. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video. And if you live in a nice, warm, sunny climate, or you're like me, you live in Michigan and you got to deal with whatever weather you got, please get out there and enjoy the weather if you can. And enjoy the spring and summer if you can and make the best of it. And I hope you all have a good day and thank you for watching.